Guys, deluded, YouTube's Lucas Torreira. Now I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in. And if you're new, you already know what to do. I'm not going to make it hard for you, but you're in the right place. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but I know the way I look at management, or specific to Arsenal, in fact, not even specific to Arsenal, is that if I'm trying to win a league title, get promoted, stay in the league, you need an air of unpredictability. If I'm personally a football manager, I have my preference and bias of the way I'm playing. For instance, I might like a 4-3-3, but even if it's different formations, if it's tweaking them formations according to different personnel, if it's inserting different personnel, I believe different frameworks are required for different matches and and all of them sort of things there, people. And the more you do that, obviously you make yourself more unpredictable, harder to read by opponents. I'm not saying I'm a tinker man. I don't necessarily believe in that. I wouldn't even necessarily call Pep Guardiola that like some people do, because for me a tinker man is just changing things for the sake of changing things. Pep Guardiola, for instance, isn't doing that. He's changing things specifically for a reason. If it doesn't work, then cool, we hold our hands up. But you get what I'm saying? You guys know we seem to be having a bias towards a 4-2-3-1 at Arsenal. My personal belief with Unai Emery is that's not what he wants to do. He wants to implement his thing, but he's ran with that. Obviously, we've chipped and changed a bit as the game in games and things like that. We've gone too up front, for example, with Lacazette. But I feel he started with that to a degree just because these players have been playing that for a while. I think he looked at it in August in that, alright, cool. We'll try our best to against the two teams we played first. We'll improve defensively. We'll try and work on playing out from the back and stuff. But this seems to be the formation these players are more comfortable with. So let me run with that and see within that framework what freedom I can give to the attacking players, what responsibility I can give to the midfielders in a defensive sense, etc., etc. I'm a big fan of 4-3-3. Now you can do it with Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Welbs, like I'm going to speak about, or you could actually do it with Nketiah. You can do it with two cams. You can do it with one cam in that Mkhitaryan and Lacazette and Aubameyang. You can do it with a winger like Nelson, or a winger that we would have loved to see come into the club. There's many different variations, but for me, just from a defensive approach. Now, Welbs lets us down many a time. I mean, Atletico Madrid, he let us down defensively by losing the ball, but for what Welbs lacks technically, and I like Welbs, he gives you a lot defensively. He presses, he's aggressive, he's positive, he works hard. His technical ability and the comical misses, you've got to probably accept that with playing Welbs. No disrespect to him, because that's not one of his strong points, clearly. I mean, the man's, 27? He's never been anything remarkably close to being clinical. And if you're not now, or showing the sort of aspects to being that, you're never going to be a cool finisher. And that's what lets him down. If Welbs could finish and be a 20-goal striker, he'd be a madness, in my opinion. But he's not. Now, we like to press from the front. We like to be aggressive. We like to play counter-attacking football. Actually, like what you've seen, our counters in the games we've played, whether they've come to success or not, have brought us success. The playing out from the back, the counter-attack, which was 18 to 20 passes against Chelsea. The playing out from the back, the quick turnarounds. There's some positives to have in our play. One thing that I think Unai might have to consider is that Welbs, now there was a lot of talk in regards to him leaving. His contract's actually up at the end of the season, which is not being discussed enough. If I'm Welbs, he's probably waiting or holding off to see if he gets first team opportunities, or if a contract offer has been put on the table. There's cause for not to put that on the table. But yeah, it will never happen because Unai loves to say it won't. But Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Welbs, give or take. Why I say that is because these man there, Welbs will be aggressive, extremely aggressive. So will Aubameyang and so will Lacazette. You've got pace, you've got creativity, you've got Welbs makes himself a nuisance. For instance, this is what I want to see. I want to see my strikers, like you saw with the classic Barcelona 4-3-3, swapping positions. Aubameyang might start here, but he might swap with Lacazette. Lacazette's better technically, so he might drop deeper, allowing Wolves to occupy. And then obviously there's going to be space to exploit for Aubameyang. Switch flanks, do all of them sort of things. Aggressive up there. That's one thing I'd like to see us introduce. But another reason, if I just move one of these midfielders, pretend these are right back people, and let's just put him there. Welbs is more likely to help Bellerin. So if they're being doubled up against and Bellerin's being pulled out of position, Welbs is more likely to follow the man, in my opinion. So he gives us a bit defensively for all what he's lacking in a technical sense. That's all I wanted to say, folks. The big issue probably that sounds like I'm selling the big issue. The big problem would probably be midfield options. Because for me, my bias is Guendouzi, Torreira and Maitland-Niles when he's fit, but them three there, they can all play on the ball, but there's a lack of creativity there. In fact, even when it's Guendouzi and Torreira, to a degree, there's gaps that open up in midfield because of them. They both play good passes, but that's not what they're on 24/7. So you'd probably need to get Ozil in there. You could play Ramsey and let him go forward. You could have Mkhitaryan in there. But that's what I would like to come with. But the problem would probably be midfield. Realistically, regardless of opinions, you could probably have Xhaka in there, drop deep, receiver off the centre-halves. He'll probably end up as a false 10 as well and will get isolated. But the problem would probably be midfield. Whether you play two DMs, whether you go with like that slightly, whether you play them closer together, is for another debate, and that would be for Unai Emery to deal with, people. But that's all I wanted to say on a quick thing, to be honest, people. I'm not calling for it to happen in every game and things like that, but there are certain games I can see us and need to play well. For instance, big game, I'd probably have played him against City. If I had this idea then, which I'm sure I've made a video about this, I would have played him against City. Again, I'm not here to blast Unai Emery or saying he got it wrong and things like that. Everybody's a genius in hindsight. I'm just trying to give you an example on the basis that Welbs is aggressive. Against City, for example, central to their plans is how they play out from the back. In fact, you saw, even from playing out from the back, you saw Ederson spin a 40-yard pass for someone and spin a whole defence, and City scored. So Welbs would allow us to track back defensively and be aggressive up there. Equally, it could be a 4-3-3 of the same sorts in a different game in which you could play Nelson or Mkhitaryan, who's been occupying that flank. But all I'm trying to get a point is different personnel. It goes beyond different formations. You guys know I love 4-3-3, I love 4-2-3-1, but I see a case for 3 at the back because we're so poor in defence. But within them same formations, different personnel give you different outlooks of the games, gives you different things. You've got a 25-man squad, use it. I'm not calling for different things every week, but we need to be less predictable. I don't think we've been predictable under Unai Emery yet, but yeah, for a hallmark of the last couple of years, you know what it's been with Arsenal. I've got nothing more to say on that front, man. So guys, enjoy the rest of your morning, enjoy the rest of your day, wherever you are, whatever time zone you're in. Stay safe, please. Guys, deluded, get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest if you wish. I'm out.